Have you seen The Matrix? What if I told you, just like Neo, you have the ability to break through? It's sitting at your fingertips. And do you know how to actually use it? Hey, Jason here. If you're new to the channel, I've been an expat slash nomad for 10 years. I'm now on my fourth country, third continent, with permanent residency here in Lusaka, Zambia. And what I've started doing was sharing with you what I've learned along this 10-year journey, both professional and personal. But most importantly, if you're thinking about becoming an expat or already one, why you should be looking into the southern region of Africa. It's one of those hidden gems that no one is really talking about. And so let's go ahead and dig into it. So, like I said, just like Neo in the Matrix, you have the ability to break through. And what I mean by breakthrough, I'm talking about the financial breakthrough. At the end of the day, one of the biggest problems, no matter where you live in the world, there's not enough money that you're earning to really cover all your expenses to do the things that you really want to do that make you happy. And so because of that, and we all should be focused on how can we legally earn more money and doing it without requiring too much of our time. And let me show you just on the board, because this is where this problem is coming from everywhere in the world. We've all been taught to be an employee. We've all been taught from the mindset of go to school, get a good education, and find a good job. We haven't been taught how to create wealth and how to be financially free. Because at the end of the day, to be an employee, financial literacy is not a requirement. Financial literacy only becomes a requirement when you become part of the S, the B, and the I, meaning small business, big business, and investors. Because it takes a different set of skills to actually create wealth. You're actually learning how to create wealth by earning more income. And that is what we have not been taught in the employee sector. And majority of us are in the employee sector. And so the freedom that we have now to be able to create this wealth is through the internet. But the problem is the internet, and I didn't realize this until just recently, the internet was just dropped in on most people. Most people weren't introduced to the internet in the early stages. For me, I've always was fascinated with technology because my older brother, Tim, he used to have the Commodore 16, is it Commodore 16? The Commodore, that old Commodore PC, the Ataris and things. That's where I got my fascination with games and electronics. It was actually from him because he used to be really good at coding and programming. I remember as a kid, I used to read some of his college books on stuff. And that's what really got me into technology. And so when the internet first came out, like I always, at that time, I was already building my own computers, not the gaming computers and things of the nature you see now, but like just your basic computer, learning how, okay, this is the modem, here's the dial-up speed. Used to switch it from Earthlink to, we used to have the AOL, old modems, all of those different things. I didn't understand, and I was not understanding. I was preparing myself for the whole new industry that the world was going to, which was the World Wide Web. Because at that time, no one thought the post office would. Who would have? If you would have told people back then to get your bills, you would get them from a computer screen and not in the mail from your postal carrier, people would have told you were crazy. But look at the world we live in now. You don't really check most things that come to your home. And we even have whole countries that don't even have mail systems because they get things right through their phone through an email client. And so when I was on the internet back in those days, like it was a research tool. You went to the internet to research how to do more things. Then you had a few social things such as Yahoo Games, Yahoo Groups, stuff like that. But also at the same time, there was a same thing that they were doing. They were marketing by getting ad revenue coming in for businesses to market their product, service, or opportunity. However, the problem with it was in the beginning, and this is why you have things in place now, such as pop-up blockers, because a lot of these marketing, they would have it in there. They would go in and market to these companies, which were adult themed companies, because they're usually always at the forefront of any type of technology. Because for them, anything that can get new eyes on their product, it's potential customers. And so they really do care about customer acquisition. They don't care about customer retention. This is why I always say important things of business is customer acquisition and customer retention. And so that's why you have things now put in place such as pop-up blockers, because in that free reign of World Wide Web point one, that was version 1, by the way. We're now on like version 6 or 7 or higher, because we are now at the introduction of artificial intelligence. So at that time, those companies was really abusing that system. So it took a lot of people off the internet. But if you stayed on there, you saw the transition of how it transitioned more from a business perspective. And that gave rise to a lot of network marketing. This is why I still love network marketing, because the internet gives you a lot of potential customers that you can get in front of. And all you have to do is just really learn how to market your product or opportunity. And so that's where Cece and I at the time, we got into getting network marketing coaches, online business coaches, to learn how to transition traditional business into an online market, because it's different, because you have to understand how to speak to your different clients, how to speak to different people, where to find your clients also. Because even to this day, most people are told, like, let's say if you wanted to do a YouTube channel, oh, go find someone who's in the niche that you're doing, find the biggest people, and then you go into their comment sections and you always tell people, add some value. You got to add value now. But then you always try to get people to come back and let them know that you have a channel too. That's just scalping. That's all it is. But that type of tactic is still taught to this day. But and there's more sophisticated levels of marketing. So I don't do that poaching level. There are channels that I comment on. There are channels that I genuinely just like to watch. But I don't ever talk about, hey, I got a channel. Most people actually hear about my channel from word of mouth from other people. Even when I meet people here, I usually don't even talk about me having a YouTube channel unless they ask hey, what type of content are you filming? We see you walking around with a camera and stuff. And I'll be like, oh, just showing what the country of Zambia look like to attract other retirees, especially if they're from the military or government, to just show them the type of life that is offered here, because I know firsthand the things that we see marketed to us about the continent of Africa don't show the peace and the good living that you can have here. And so I let them know, I just share with them the good and the bad, try to give them a real accurate perception of the country in case some people really want to come here, because I know there's others like me that are liking to travel or looking for that place to go to for probably greener pastures. And then people are like, oh, cool, let me follow you. That's usually how it goes. And look, I'm well over 1,000 subscribers, on my way to 2,000, hitting that mark soon. And I just like the genuine of it. And I like the moral ethics of it also. And so with that, I always have this understanding, social media for me is always a place for business. Once you're able to get to where you can get ad revenue, and there's nothing wrong with that, it's just a way, hey, you're providing value to the platform. And in response to that, they're saying, hey, here's a way for you to monetize or earn passive income. Like for me, I have over 2.7 thousand videos on here. Think about it. If each one of those videos did $1, one kwacha or 1 rand, whatever your currency that you're watching in, just one, each video did just one of that each month. If it's dollars, that's 2.7 thousand dollars. If it's euros, that's 2.7 thousand euros. If it's kwacha, that's 2.7 thousand kwacha. And I'm not doing anything. It's literally me talking in front of my phone, just sharing some information of usually something that I've learned, something that I read about, or something that I personally experienced. And I'm just uploading it on here, putting some thumbnails. There is advanced levels to that now. I'm not saying it's just that simple, but it's the potential to be able to earn that. That is the first thing. This is the first time in the world we all have the ability to create a business with really no cost up front. All you're doing is registering your email, and you're just saying you're going to abide by a certain amount of guidelines. And this is what you're seeing. However, a lot of people are not aware of that. So a lot of people are using social media for, let me be real, let me just tell you how things really are, or let me be rude, let me be viral. And they're not understanding, like, you're just shutting yourself off from the potential of just making money. It's just a revenue stream. There's nothing wrong with having extra revenue streams. If you follow most wealthy people, they tell you they're always about MSIs, multiple streams of income. And so that's why the board fell over, sorry. And that's why I focus on, I upload to Facebook now, I upload to Instagram, I upload to TikTok, I upload here to YouTube. I'm most likely go back to uploading to LinkedIn, like every social media platform that's out there that I have. And each one is just a different multiple stream of income, potentially. Some may hit, some may not hit. It's not a big deal. But what it is doing is, let's say if I have 3 channels, and each of those channels are bringing me in 2.7 thousand kwacha. So let's say 2 channels, just to keep the math easy, that'll be 5.4 thousand kwacha a month. That helps me to be here in the big business and an investor. That's money I can just be setting aside investing, whether it's cars for Yango, materials for building some tiny homes, or if it's going to be things of creating new businesses, like if it's creating a landscaping company, creating a restaurant, all of those different things. Like, that is how powerful social media is, or the internet. It's not about keeping it real, being vulgar. You do have to learn how to edit yourself. And this is where I say, like, a lot of people just may not know exactly what to do or how to do it. Do you know how to do it? And no, I'm not selling you on some course here. I don't do courses. I'm not doing any more things like that. Like, I do help people that around that I know locally, and I just give them some suggestions, like, hey, try this, speak this way, edit out this word, because you do have to learn how to filter yourself from a marketing standpoint. And you want to be marketable to family friendly content. As you see on my channel, I still curse sometimes. I just go around, show regular things. Like the channels that are so-called being shadow banned, some of them are not being shadow banned. They've created an algorithm that isn't suitable for family-friendly content. That's why whenever you upload a video, it does ask, is this content created for children? It's about being children safe now. Because of the things that happened when World Wide Web version 1 came out, and all of those pop-ups of, I remember if you used to just put in, here's a big one. Like, most people don't know this, and only the true first generation people that was on the internet doing research and stuff know. Like, I was always looking for government opportunities, like what kind of jobs can I get? So as a kid, I was even looking at Secret Service, stuff like that. I always said, I'm only working to 50. That's the most I'm willing to do. After that, I'm done. It's like, God, you got to take the wheel now. That old saying, Jesus, take the wheel. Like, if I hit 50 and I'm still working, Jesus, you got to take the wheel. I'm done. That was always my mindset as a kid. So if you would, back in those times, you would have typed in White House, www.whitehouse.com, it would have came up with a pornographic site. The actual government state site was www.whitehouse.org organization. And if you made that mistake, it was a porn website, pornographic material popping up, and you're literally just trying to see something about the White House in the state capitol. And that is why they had to go into these, almost shadow banning type tactics to clear out the internet and make it child friendly, child safe. And if you're like me, just a regular decent person, whether you have kids or not, you should agree with me. That was the correct thing to do, because children shouldn't be seeing those type of content, especially when you're literally just trying to type in and find something about the White House in the state capitol. And it was this, you were seeing this pattern on a lot of different things. This is where people still use this tactic today. Okay. that use this tactic and let me know if you know about any of these tactics. This is a perfectly safe tactic. I even do it. When you buy out a domain, you buy out multiple domains around it also. So like I purchased my domain name. I have other domain names that I've purchased, and I purchase out every domain name that is similar to it also. And I recommend you doing it too. So no one can ever try to rip off your image or brand if you turn yourself into a brand. And so, excuse me. And so that's what you really want to do, is really make sure your content is child friendly, even if you're not creating it for children. All of my videos, I let it know it's not created for children, because once you say it's created for children, it goes into a different guideline. But what that means is just like, don't be a jerk. It shouldn't be hard to say this. Like, don't be using offensive words and things of that nature. Don't be too, what would be the correct word for it? Don't try to be too repulsive. Repulsive marketing is not the best marketing strategy. Yes, it can get you viral, but it's not the best. Like, I was just watching a channel, one where it's like prayer all day, and they're just like, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you can see they're faking it, because it's like, if you're deep in prayer, when you're deep in prayer and you're really doing something from the heart, you don't have time to be looking and seeing what the comments are saying. You can see their eyes opening up, them looking. You can tell when someone's reading comments digitally. If you learn body language and just if you study how human interaction is on a digital platform, you learn behavioral patterns, but also you learn how to read into people from a psychological point of view. It's not that difficult. And you could see that. Then it was a lady, and she just cursing, MF this. And it's like, yes, this may be your life and how you speak day to day, but would you want someone speaking like that in front of your child? Like, let's be honest here. We all want things to be safe and a comfortable environment for a child. So should this platform of being able to create your business or your brand, personal brand here on the internet. And so just keep this video short. I'm going to end up ending this one here, because this can be a 2-3 hour video. I'm going to do more videos talking about how to set up your personal brand, just some things to watch out for, certain subject matters to try to avoid as much as possible. As you see, there's some subject matters I don't even talk about. Even if someone leaves a comment, you'll see sometimes I ignore certain comments on purpose, and I explain the psychology behind it. But I just really wanted to share that, like, if you really want to break out of the matrix, as people are saying, like, focus on the financial matrix. The financial literacy matrix is the biggest matrix that hold us in place. The funny thing is, once you become financially free or financially independent, you start realizing you don't need as much money as you think to live a very comfortable, safe, and peaceful life. And then you can start striving on, let me get these other MSIs. But you have to become financially independent first. That's the catch. That's the true thing the 1% are not teaching us. Until I started taking the time to focus on how to budget and how to circulate my money into very specific places that benefit me first, I was never able to start focusing on multiple streams of income. I was too busy, and let me just quote using Robert Kiyosaki, I was too busy in the rat race. And so if you have any questions or comments, leave those down below. And if you have your social media channel and you're creating content, leave that down below too, so we can all follow each other. It's not about competition here. Like, there are things of value that you may provide and that Jason don't provide, because I haven't had that experience. So never limit yourself and think that what you're providing is not worth it, and you can share it here anytime. And most importantly, just remember this: I am Jason, and success is simple once you know how.